Hi, everyone. Today I wanted to talk about burnout. And this is something that I am intimately familiar with. I have experienced burnout in my career. I would say that I've had it once or twice, minor in a minor way, but I also had it really bad a couple of years ago. And it was something that was very hard to come back from. There was a multiple factors that went into it, but when I look back on that time, it was something that created a ton of exhaustion. I was very unhappy. I had a ton of self-doubt about my abilities, about what I was capable of doing. I thought I could never come back from this. I was done. Why couldn't I retire early and just be done with the rat race? And all of it was a symptom of burnout. And I recognize that now. There are certain things that I do in my daily life now to avoid that. And I've come a long way. There's been a lot of growth, but I can also start to see that in other people. And I've had a couple of people that I am friends with who have had burnout over the last couple of years. And I think that it's helpful for people to talk about it. A lot of times, I think that people believe it is a shameful thing to have, that you got out of control with this burnout, that it's something that you did to yourself. And oftentimes that's not the case. You may have had a contributing factor in it, that you didn't put up boundaries, but it is something that people deal with on a regular basis. And especially today in this hustle culture, like you can't, it's sometimes you just get dragged into it and you don't even see the forest for the trees until you're deep in that forest. So just to define what burnout is, it is defined as a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by prolonged periods of stress. So, some of the symptoms that people feel, and it's similar to what I was feeling, was your energy is depleted, you're negative towards your job, and you reduce your professional efficacy. So, your work starts deteriorating. This is all stuff that we want to avoid. So, what I really think is important as we're trying to avoid burnout is, I did have a post not long ago where I was talking about work-life balance, and having work-life balance is critical to avoiding burnout, because you need to have a scale in your life. You can't always be tipping it so that work is the most important thing. You can't always be tipping it as your personal life is the most important thing. At the end of the day, your personal life should be your priority. If it's not, no judgment here, but and when I mean personal life, is taking care of yourself. I really think it's important that we as humans, we get this one vessel. You need to take care of it. Exercise is a great stress reliever. If you do too much, then it becomes a stressor. So there is a balance that you also need to have within exercise, but you should be eating well. You should be, doing all the things that keep you healthy, because your body cannot sustain additional stress and avoid burnout if it's not healthy itself. So, making sure that your workload is reasonable for you, that was one thing that I did not do, and that I've always had kind of an issue with, is not saying, hey, T, I need, help. I need to offload some of these projects. I also need to say no more. That is a big problem that people face, is that I remember coming out of college and being told that if you're going to be successful in work, you don't say no. You take the work that people are willing to give you. That is how your value is established. And I strongly believe that that is not the case. What you're then fostering is that people see that you're a willing person to take on more work, and they will give it to you, and you're often not recognized for that additional work. You are the one who is really suffering from just being overworked. So having these boundaries where you're saying, this is the work that I'm going to be doing. If you want to take on extra projects, fine, to help elevate your career, but you should not be foregoing everything else in your life to take on more things to try to advance your career. Do the things that you need to do, and do them very, very well. That is how you advance your career. You create value in the work that you produce and the needle that you move at work. That is how you make yourself successful. So if somebody is saying you need to take on all these projects, hold up. Like, what am I being measured on? Can I succeed doing the things that I am doing? Do I have time to take on these other projects? If you cannot do the work you are already supposed to be doing as part of your job, then you're not going to be successful anywhere. Because if you can't succeed on the core things, it doesn't matter how much work you have, because that's all superfluous. So make sure you work with your manager to have time off, to set boundaries for what your work is going to be, and be honest with yourself in what you can take on. If you're taking on too much, it's going to have a detrimental effect on your stress. And if you do that for a sustained period of time, you're going to go into burnout. So make sure you're taking regular breaks, even if it's walks during the day. And I love when people say mental health days are taking a bubble bath. No, mental health days are for you to reset yourself, and these should be done on a regular basis. It's not once a year, it's not once every couple of years. You need vacation time, you need personal days, and make sure that those are reasonable so that you can manage your stress. But putting in boundaries and taking time off and fostering your soul, those things are going to keep you healthy. You also should, if your job has tools where they're helping you with having a therapist or having medical assistance, take advantage of those. Make sure that you are taking care of yourself first. Now, as a leader, when you're helping to manage people avoid burnout, there should be training. In every organization, there should be training to teach you on how to manage people's time, how to manage every individual so that they are not ever going to reach burnout, to manage their stress levels. And you as a leader need to protect your team. I've faced this in my career a lot, is that as a leader, a lot of people come to you and want you to do all these things, especially as you start to become successful and seen as somebody who has results that people like, is that they want you to do more and more so that the results are higher and higher and it helps the business. But as a leader, it's not about taking that work that comes in and giving it to your team and making sure that they handle it. It's about you cultivating those things that you're actually taking on that are going to help move the needle, because it's about doing smart business, working smarter, not harder, taking the projects that actually work, that have a long-term effect, and doling them out to your team in a way that is manageable for them. It's not about filling their plate and have it overflowing. It's having it managed to a certain degree that they can do it successfully. And if you're not doing that with your team as a manager, you need to start that now. You need to make sure that your team is healthy and happy and that they're listened to. You should also empower your employees to tell you when they are having problems, when they can't keep up, when they need more support, or they need something taken off their plate. All of that needs to be managed. So the final thing that I'll talk about is, as a leader, we need to lead by example. We cannot expect our team to do as we say. We want them to do as we do. Just like any other group that follows a leader, they're going to adapt to your way of being, of working. If they see you taking on too much, if they see you working all hours and responding at all hours, they're going to do the same thing. If they see you not taking time off, not respecting your boundaries, they're going to think that they're expected to do the same thing, even if they may not articulate that to you. So as a leader, not only do you need to take care of yourself, but you need to be an example for your team. You need to be able to set up your own boundaries, to make people stick to that. Not only the people that you're managing, but other leaders, your own managers. Stick to that. Be an example. You need to take the time off. You need to feed your soul. You need to prioritize the things in your personal life that are important, and really set those boundaries and those guidelines that you want your team to follow. If you want the best team that performs at the highest level, that has the best return, you need to take care of them just as you would any flower, dog, person, child, anything else. So those are my tips for avoiding a burnout, not only in yourself, but also in the team that you manage. And I would love to hear your tips as well in the comment section. So leave me a comment or reach out to me directly. I would love to have that conversation with you. Avoiding burnout is something that's near and dear to my heart, and I hope to never face it again. And I do not wish it on my worst enemy. So if you have any questions, let me know. And I hope that this helps. Thanks. Bye.